For a while, everyone around Joe wanted to believe the attack on her house was just bad luck, or maybe payback for the Ukraine mission gone wrong. That explanation was easier to accept. It meant the enemy got lucky, not that someone on the inside helped them. But luck does not explain everything that happened. It does not explain how two armed men knew exactly which house was hers, on a quiet street, in a neighborhood where nothing about her job is supposed to be visible. It does not explain how, only hours later, she was grabbed off a public street in broad daylight, far from her home, in a moment that should have been impossible to predict unless someone told the attackers where to look. And it definitely does not explain how they knew to search for a hidden tracker on her body, something only a small number of people inside the CIA would even know exists. Once Jo is back with her team, safe but shaken, the mood in the room changes completely. This is not sadness anymore. This is anger mixed with fear, because everyone in that room understands the same uncomfortable truth. If the enemy knew this much, somebody talked, and that somebody might still be sitting at the same table, eating the same food, carrying the same gun, pretending nothing is wrong. This is where the episode title starts to make real sense. The bear is infected is not about an outside threat anymore. A bear that gets infected does not get sick from something far away. It gets sick from something already inside its own body. That is exactly what is happening to Joe's team. The infection is not a Russian spy hiding in the bushes outside. It is a member of the team itself, someone who has access, someone who has trust, someone who has been part of every mission briefing and every private conversation. Once the team accepts this, they cannot go back to normal operations. They cannot plan the next move the way they always have, because now every plan might be walking straight into the wrong hands again. So instead of running from this fear, Joe decides to use it. If someone is leaking information, then the smartest move is not to hide the next operation. It is to build a trap using it. The team sets up a new mission, one built specifically to test who can be trusted. Certain details are given to certain people, and only those people. If those details show up where they should not, in enemy hands, on enemy radios in enemy hands, then the circle of suspects gets smaller with every clue. This is a dangerous game, because it means treating your own teammates like suspects, and that changes how people look at each other in the room. Small moments that used to feel normal start to feel suspicious. A teammate stepping out to take a phone call. Someone asking one too many questions about the plan. Someone staying unusually quiet when others are angry. None of these things prove anything on their own, but once suspicion enters a team like this, it does not leave quietly. It sits there, growing a little more every day, until even innocent behavior starts to look guilty. And that is exactly the trap Jo now finds herself in. She has to catch a traitor without destroying the trust of the people who are actually innocent, and she has almost no time to figure out the difference. Trust erodes from the inside. Once the team accepts that one of their own might be talking to the enemy, something changes that cannot be undone with words. It is easy to say, we still trust each other out loud, but actions tell a different story. People start watching each other in ways they never did before. A teammate who used to grab coffee and talk about nothing important now eats alone, because being close to anyone feels risky when you do not know who is safe to be close to. Conversations that used to flow freely start getting shorter. People choose their words more carefully, not because they are hiding something, but because they are scared that anything they say might be twisted, questioned, or used against them later. This is one of the most painful parts of a betrayal like this. It does not just hurt the person who was attacked, it poisons the whole group around them. Jo feels this most of all, because she is the one who has to lead a team while also quietly studying them. She cannot walk into a room and simply be their boss anymore. Now she has to notice who looks nervous, who avoids eye contact, who seems too calm when they should be angry, and who seems too angry when calm would make more sense. This is exhausting in a way that fighting an enemy never is, because with an enemy, you know where the danger is coming from. With a possible traitor on your own team, the danger could be standing right next to you, laughing at the same joke, covering your back in the field. The team members react to this pressure in different ways. Some become defensive, frustrated that their loyalty is even being questioned after everything they have survived together. Others go quiet, choosing to stay out of the spotlight so they are not the one who looks suspicious. A few try to hold the group together, reminding everyone that turning on each other is exactly what an enemy would want, because a divided team is an easier team to defeat. But even those efforts to stay united come with a shadow hanging over them, because the people trying hardest to calm everyone down could just as easily be the ones trying hardest to hide something. This is what makes the mole hunt so different from a normal mission. In the field, the team fights side by side, moving as one unit, trusting that every person beside them will do their job. Now, for the first time, that unity is broken from the inside, and nobody knows exactly where the crack is. At the same time, this tension does not stay locked inside the walls of the team. It follows Joe home, even if the show does not always say it directly. A person cannot spend all day suspecting the people closest to them and then walk through their front door and instantly feel normal and safe again. The stress builds up quietly, showing in small ways. A shorter temper, a longer silence, a harder time relaxing even in moments that are supposed to be peaceful. This mirrors what is happening with Neil and the family side of the story, where pressure from Joe's dangerous world keeps pressing into a home life that is supposed to be separate from it. The idea being built here is simple but powerful. Once betrayal touches one part of a person's life, it does not stay contained. It slowly leaks into every other part too. For the audience, this is the section where the show stops being just an action thriller and becomes something more personal. It is easy to watch people fight enemies with guns and explosions, but it hits differently to watch people slowly stop trusting each other, because that kind of damage cannot be fixed with a single big fight scene. It has to be rebuilt slowly, if it can be rebuilt at all. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps viewers hooked, because the real danger is no longer just outside the door, it is already inside the room, and nobody knows how far the damage has already spread. Episode 4, The Trap is Set. By the time the story moves into the next episode, something shifts in the way the danger feels. Up until now, the threat has mostly been about looking backward, trying to figure out how the enemy got in, who talked, and what mistake let the walls fall down. But now a new problem lands on the team, and it does not wait politely for the old problem to be solved first. A fresh threat appears, urgent and demanding action right away, the kind of situation that does not care whether the team trusts each other or not. It just needs to be handled immediately. And that timing is not an accident, it is exactly what makes this next part of the story so tense. The title itself, Murder Hornets, gives a strong clue about what kind of danger this is. A single hornet sting is painful, but a group of hornets attacking together is something far more dangerous, because they do not come one at a time. They come as a swarm, hitting from multiple directions at once, overwhelming anyone who tries to fight them off one by one. That is exactly the position Joe's team is placed in now. They are not just facing one clear enemy anymore. They are facing pressure from outside, in the form of a new mission that cannot wait, and pressure from inside in the form of a possible traitor who still has not been caught. Both problems are stinging at the same time, and both demand attention the team does not fully have to give. This is where the trap becomes real, not just a trap set for the mole, but a trap the whole team has walked into without choosing it. If they focus too hard on hunting the traitor, they risk missing warning signs on the new mission, and people could get hurt or killed because attention was somewhere else. But if they focus fully on the new mission and set the mole hunt aside for now, they risk feeding sensitive information straight back to the same leak they have not found yet, repeating the exact mistake that got Joe kidnapped in the first place. There is no safe choice here, only choices with different risks attached, and that is what makes this stretch of the story so gripping to watch. Joe is forced into a position where she has to trust her team enough to complete a dangerous operation, while still privately wondering if the person walking beside her on that operation might be the reason the last operation went wrong. Imagine standing back to back with someone in a firefight, needing them to watch your side completely, while a small part of your mind cannot stop asking if they are the reason the enemy knew where to find you last time. That kind of doubt does not disappear just because the mission demands focus. It sits underneath every decision, every glance, every order given in the field. The tension is not loud in these moments. It is quiet, buried under professional behavior, hidden behind training and discipline, but it is always there, pulling at the edges of every scene. This section of the story also raises the stakes for what a mistake could cost. Early in the season, mistakes led to fear and injury. Now, with a bigger and more urgent threat swarming in from multiple directions, a single wrong move, a single misplaced trust, could lead to something the team cannot walk away from. The idea of a trap here works in two directions at once. The team is trying to set a trap to catch the traitor, but at the exact same time, they may be walking straight into a trap themselves, one built by an enemy who understands they are distracted, divided, and running out of time to fix the crack inside their own group. That double meaning is what makes this stretch of episodes so effective, because the audience is left watching two dangers circle each other, never sure which one is going to strike first, or whether stopping one problem might accidentally make the other one so much worse.